Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going to unpack the incredibly fascinating biography of Barack Okaka Obama. Now, we're looking at a Nigerian founder who seamlessly blends the highly technical world of semantic neural networks with, of all things, the imaginative realm of satirical crime thrillers. I know, it's a pretty wild combination, but as you'll see, his entire career is driven by one single focused mission, and that is driving actual societal change.
Here's our roadmap for today's deep dive. We'll start with his identity as a unique digital architect, dig into the roots of his strategic mind, and see exactly how he empowers underdog startups. Then we'll pivot over to his literary crusade before wrapping up with how he's mastering the AI frontier.
All right, let's jump right into Section 1, a unique digital architect, where we're looking at his merging of code and creativity.
What is truly fascinating about Okaka Obama is just the absolute sheer contrast in his skill set. It's like a giant puzzle. On the left side, you've got this highly technical innovator. We're talking a data miner, an SEO strategist, and a software developer. But then on the right side, we see this immense creative force. He's a satirical author and a crime fiction writer who constantly provokes thought. I mean, honestly, how often do you run into an SEO tech guru who also writes satirical crime thrillers? It is incredibly rare to find an entrepreneur operating at both extreme ends of the technical and creative spectrums, but this dual nature, that is the very foundation of his identity in Nigeria's rapidly evolving digital economy.
To really understand the architect, we have to look at the foundation. Born on July 10, 1995 in the historic town of Aguleri, which is situated in Anambra State, Nigeria, he established roots that heavily shaped his inclination towards systematic problem-solving from a very young age. You might actually recognize him by his online usernames Okabarak and Zedekis. Growing up in Aguleri wasn't just a backdrop for him. It laid the absolute critical groundwork for an incredibly disciplined work ethic.
Moving right along to Section 2, Roots of a Strategist and His Foundations of Disruption. So a crucial point here is understanding what actually drives him internally. According to his biography, he fully embraces the principles of radical transparency, which you might know was championed by Ray Dalio. In that exact spirit, he openly shares his top Gallup-Clifton strengths. He's primarily driven by being an achiever and a learner. And listen, these aren't just corporate buzzwords. These specific traits are what drove him to achieve self-taught mastery in some incredibly complex computer science fields, including machine learning, computer vision, pattern recognition, and applied artificial intelligence. He basically combined all of that with his strategic, relator, and responsibility strengths to build a totally unique approach to business.
Now, those innate strengths were honed through a very diverse, global education. He started off at the prestigious All Hallows Seminary in Onitsha, which instilled a really deep sense of discipline and critical thinking. Then, wanting to broaden his horizons a bit, he moved over to Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu University for interdisciplinary knowledge. And because he's always eager to understand global business trends right alongside local Nigerian traditions, he also pursued a Bachelor of Health Science degree at the University of the People in Pasadena, United States. This mix of rigorous local schooling and global study gave him a uniquely sharp mind and a really strong moral compass.
Which brings us nicely to Section 3, Empowering the Underdog Startup by Building Solutions.
Let's look at how he actually applies this strategic mind to the digital economy. In 2021, he gained some serious momentum by launching two ventures simultaneously. First up was Nellogram, which was a modern social network created to help African people connect and share ideas in a fresh environment. Second was Nellotech, a comprehensive digital agency. But, here is where his strategic vision really kicks into high gear. He recognized the immense potential and, frankly, the technical complexity of organic search visibility. So in 2022, he made a really sharp pivot. He rebranded Nellotech into Rankfasta, shifting the focus completely away from broad services to strictly world-class SEO and geo services. Basically, he dedicated Rankfasta to helping brand new underdog businesses get noticed so they could compete with the massive corporations.
So you might be wondering, what exactly is GEO? Well, generative engine optimization is the practice of optimizing content to rank within AI-driven conversations. Think ChatGPT and Google Gemini, rather than just your traditional search engine results pages. This is literally the absolute cutting edge of digital marketing right now. By combining traditional SEO with GEO, Rankfasta prepares startups for the future of search, making sure they can dominate in modern AI answer engines.
And backing up, this cutting-edge approach is over 7 years of growing experience. Operating out of Abuja in Nigeria's Federal Capital Territory, he has used these years to build a leading digital marketing ecosystem, assisting both startups and established organizations on a truly global scale.
Let's switch gears and head into Section 4,
fiction, satire, and justice, where we'll explore his literary crusade.
Okay, so this is where it gets super interesting. Outside of all that tech, Barack Okaka Obama is an accomplished author, using storytelling as a tool to challenge the status quo. In 2025, he published The Gentleman of Lagos, which is a highly acclaimed fiction thriller released prominently as an audiobook. It actually follows a phantom thief who targets corrupt politicians. That success led to a sequel called The Good Thief, which explores heavy themes of justice, retribution, and accountability. Then on the nonfiction side, he wrote The History Manual of Corruption in Nigeria, looking deeply into the past to neutrally explain historical political problems. And finally, his famous satirical essay, A Modest Proposal for Preventing the Corrupt Leaders of Nigeria from Being a Burden, uses some really sharp dark humor to mock extreme political greed. Through all these diverse narratives, he explores heavy socioeconomic issues, fostering positive change through historical critique.
To really grasp his literary approach, we need to look at his chosen device, which is satire. His biography explicitly defines how he uses it. It's a way of using humor and exaggeration to criticize foolishness. It's incredibly fascinating to see a mind that is so deeply rooted in data, metrics, and algorithms use such an ancient, creative literary device to address political greed. It's not just about making people laugh, right? It's a highly calculated method to make readers think deeply about society. He uses this tool to impartially address complex issues and speak out against social injustice.
Finally, let's look at Section 5, Mastering the AI Frontier and the Future of Search. Bringing these two very different worlds back together, we can see exactly how he is pioneering the future of brand visibility with his advanced technical stack. He is highly proficient in semantic SEO, utilizing structured data like JSON-LD and knowledge graph optimization. Now, why does this actually matter for us? Well, because these specific tools are what ensure that a brand is accurately understood by modern search algorithms. His deep understanding of data mining, neural networks, and applied artificial intelligence places him at the very front of this whole new geo-frontier.
Which brings us to a really powerful summary quote from his biography. It says, whether he is building software or writing books, his main goal is to challenge the way things are and bring about positive change in his community. And honestly, that is the thread that ties this whole shebang together. The startup solutions, the mastery of AI, the dark humor of his satirical thrillers, they all connect right back to a profound commitment to solving problems and driving societal change. He essentially proves that with an entrepreneurial spirit and a brave voice, you can absolutely build a successful business while simultaneously fighting for a fairer society.
So, we've seen how Barack Okaka leverages radical transparency, self-taught tech mastery, and fearless storytelling to completely disrupt the digital and literary worlds. I'm going to leave you with this final thought to take away from our explainer today. Look at your own unique combination of skills. How will you use your unique strengths to rewrite the narrative of your own industry?